Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Leddy and welcome to So Serious Gaming. And let me just start out by saying I hope every single one of you had an amazing Christmas, and I hope you guys are ready to go into 2018 and have an amazing year. Let me know in the comments below how your day was. Let me know if you got anything nice, or have you been naughty and ended up with charcoal. Let me know. Anyway, guys, I know it's been a while. I haven't really been playing the Division recently. I kind of got burnt out. I needed a break, and I had stuff going on that I needed to deal with in my life. So I kind of focused on the live streaming and just playing other games that I've been enjoying, and I'm going to continue playing other games. I never intended to be just a one-game channel. So if you like watching Fortnite, PUBG, and occasionally Call of Duty, make sure you keep an eye out for the live streams. Anyway, guys, let me get into the build video. This is my first build video in quite a while, and I'm bringing you something pretty nice too. I mean, you get 50.5% crit damage, 132%, 50.5% crit chance, even 132% crit damage, 587k toughness, over 400k DPS, and you get 40% healing on kill. It's pretty nice, man. I ain't gonna lie, it's pretty nice. So, I use the Bullfrog for NPCs. This is just for NPC clearing, landmark clearing, things like that. So I have Destructive, Deadly, and Uncomplicated. I am probably gonna roll Deadly for Responsive. It was just, I was in a rush at the time, so I just rolled it quickly. If you wanted to use this for PvP, you could keep Deadly on there, or you could change it for Fierce or Vicious, and then have, like, where Destructive is, you could have Responsive. Actually, let me get onto the weapon mods first. Now, generally the way that I would run this would be all crit chance mods, because ARs don't have crit chance as standard. So usually I would have crit chance where crit damage is, and then the crit damage where the crit chance is, but I don't have one of those available. I'm not sure if you can get them or not, because I haven't seen any, so I'm not sure. But generally try and focus crit chance as your priority with assault rifles, so you actually get to do as many crits as possible. So yeah, with this I have crit damage, crit chance, headshot damage on the suppressor. The laser is the only underbarrel I have for this at the moment, so I just kind of stuck with it. But again, I only use it for NPCs, so I'm not really in need of it being ultra reliable. But it's accuracy, crit damage, and stability. Essentially, I would have preferred to have like crit chance for the top one, and then it'd be, I don't know, reload speed and stability or accuracy or whatever. And then on the sight, I've got crit chance, crit damage, headshot damage, and because it's a 900 RPM gun, I don't really need fire rate, so I have mag size, crit chance, and crit damage. Then I have this beast, the house. It's all about the house. 19.2k damage. I still have a little bit of optimizing to do, so that damage will go up a little bit. And I have 23% crit chance, and predatory, deadly, and card counter. Now, predatory was already on there, and the second talent was inactive, so at first I was sad, because ideally I wanted responsive and deadly. But after using it, I actually don't miss responsive, and I actually really enjoy predatory, because as you can see, I have really low skill power, my cooldowns are really slow, so predatory just gives me that bit of healing, and 35% health over 20 seconds, when you consider the 9k stamina, that's a good chunk of health. So it ended up being really useful. And of course, deadly, I've got high crit chance, so I want to make sure that my crits are doing as much damage as they possibly can, which is why I've got deadly on there. So let's get into the mods. Now, because with the house, or with SMGs in general, you get that base crit chance with them, you want to focus more on your crit damage. So as you can see with this, I've got crit damage, crit chance, headshot damage. It's 19% crit damage. The top slot is always the one that has the highest stat. So with SMGs, I always want crit damage at the top. With assault rifles, I want crit chance at the top. And then the underbarrel again is crit hit damage, accuracy, and then reload speed. You can only get crit damage or crit chance. You can't get both when it comes to underbarrels. So I went with crit damage because that is going to ensure my crits do as much harm as they possibly can. And then we have the red dot sight, which has crit damage, headshot damage, and crit chance. The magazine is mag size, crit chance, and rate of fire. Just gives me that extra little bit of crit chance and make sure that I'm at that 50% mark that I wanted, and obviously the fire rate just helps you deal that damage quicker. Now don't despair, guys. I'm not about to make this build and say you need the house, otherwise it's useless. Trust me, there is another way you can go. If you can get an AUG or even an MP5, before my house dropped I was using an MP5. And I had Vicious, Fierce and Deadly on the MP5 and it still hurts. You can use the AUG, which hits pretty hard still. It fires a little bit slower, but you can use the AUG and you can have it with Vicious, Fierce and Responsive. You could have Responsive, Fierce and Deadly. You know, there's a number of ways you can run it, but those are the talents you want to go for with it. So if you don't have the house, go with the AUG or the MP5. And just roll Responsive, Deadly, Fierce. I would personally say Responsive, Deadly, Fierce, because then you're not relying on, you know, having to have the health you need to make sure Vicious is active. But if you wanted, you could have Vicious. It's up to you either way how you do that. And then on the vest we have stamina, health, health on kill, and ammo capacity. And the mods are both stamina mods with crit chance. Now those mods, 266 stamina with 1% crit chance, are currently available at the Madison stands. Let me check it for you guys. This one here, Madison stand. They're currently available there to buy. So go ahead, buy 5, buy 10, make, you know, buy double, whatever. Now the reason I had 5% health on kill is just to go with Predatory. That gives me 40% healing on health. I get 5% instantly and then the 35% over the space of 20 seconds. So it's a lot of health. 40% is nearly half of my total health pool. And obviously health just makes me that little bit tankier. You always want ammo capacity if you can get it as well. On the mask I have stamina, crit chance and burn resistance. Burn resistance, shock resistance and bleed resistance are the main ones you want to get. Wherever anything of those can be rolled, that's what you want to be going for. And I've gone for crit chance because I want to make sure my crit chance is as high as possible, so that overall I'm dealing as much damage as possible, which means my bleed will do as much damage as possible. On the knee pads, again, rolled for stamina and crit damage, and the mod is stamina mod with crit chance and a first aid self heal. Crit chance rolled as the attribute for the holster, and again that's with a self heal mod. On the gloves they're rolled for firearms. Because all my mods are stamina, that takes me to 9k, which means I can then have one of the stats rolled for firearms. And the best way to do it is have 4 of your pieces for stamina and then 1 for firearms, and then put your stamina mods in, and that'll take you to your 9k, but it means that you have a little bit more damage from your firearms. So it just allows you to get the absolute maximum out of this build. And of course, whatever weapon you plan to use as your primary, so if you want to go with an SMG, you go SMG damage. If you want to use the assault rifle, go assault rifle damage. And then you want to have crit hit chance and crit hit damage. There's no point going with skill haste with this build, in my personal opinion, because it's not going to make any difference. You may be lucky to get your cooldown to change from over 50 seconds to maybe 45 seconds, which is not worth it. You may as well just try and deal as much damage as possible and melt that player down before you need to start relying on your heals. And the backpack is rolled with stamina, crit damage and ammo capacity, and again stamina mod, crit chance with 2 first aid self heal mods. So we'll give you a quick look into the stats. So as you can see, 50.5% crit damage, that's with crit chance, sorry, that's with nothing active. There's no talents procs, no pulse active, nothing. and 132% crit damage with 61% headshot damage. So my overall health pool is 397,698. So as you can see, that 40% healing on kill is going to be really helpful. That's a lot of health. You know, 50% is 200,000, so you're going to be just short of that pretty much. So you're going to get a good chunk of health back over those, you know, over the duration of that 20 seconds. I run with Overdose and the Immunizer. Because my cooldowns take so long, as you can see, 56.5 seconds. You can go with Booster Shot, which is 51.4, but you get a bigger heal when you use Overdose. So I just kind of stuck with it. And when you go to the Immunizer, that's a 36.8 second cooldown. So I basically marry these and I try and rotate them, so it shortens the length of time that I'm left without a way of healing, and obviously you have medkits in between that. And the talents that I run when I'm solo, obviously you want to use Shrapnel. Whenever you use Predator's Mark, always use Shrapnel, especially with the 6-piece now. If you make somebody bleed for, say, 140,000 crits, their teammates have a 30% chance to take that exact same bleed. So if you bleed one player for 140,000 per crit, the other guy that catches the bleed will also bleed for 140,000 per crit. So you can essentially shoot one person and kill 2 players. I love it. It's so much fun. And then you always want to use Critical Save. Use a medkit during low health to increase damage resistance by 20% for 10 seconds. Strike Back, reach low health to reduce active skill cooldowns by 20%, and then Precision, because I'm not using a pulse and I'm running solo, headshot a hostile to pulse them for 10 seconds. This compensates me not having a pulse, and it helps me to do a little bit more damage. So it is really handy. Now if I'm in a team, I'll take Precision off and I'll go with Combat Medic. I don't really have a use for Triage because my heal does nothing for my teammates. A majority of the time I'm not really going to benefit from using Triage. But if you wanted, you could take Strike Back off and go Triage instead. That's perfectly up to you. And that's pretty much it for the build, guys. I'm going to leave you with some gameplay. I'm going to leave you with a few solo clips and a few squad clips. Some will be taken from the Xbox recordings and some will be taken from live streams. So there's a bit of a mix and match of footage, but I want to give you guys a good scope of what this build can do in different situations. You know, whether you're a solo player or a team player, you get to see it in action for both. And yeah, as always guys, I appreciate you watching. Make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the little bell to become part of the notification squad, and you will never miss a live stream or a video ever again. And yeah, comment below, let me know what you think, and make sure you tell me what Santa brought you for Christmas, because I'm nosy and I want to know. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you have an amazing day. Oh, by the way, make sure you are around on New Year's Eve for the live stream, because I will be doing a New Year's Eve giveaway, so make sure you tune in for that one. And yeah, you guys enjoy the gameplay. I cannot speak at all tonight, man, so I'm gonna wrap this up. You guys enjoy the gameplay, and I'll see you in another video. Laters.
Warning, your division affiliation has been disavowed. You are now on this road. Airdrops detected. Coordinates uploaded. Alert. The team member has disavowed the division. Your team is now designated rogue. Aid immediately.
The indicated location, and that ought to clear your manhunt.
Contamination event detected below street level. Contamination level rising below street level. Contamination level critical below street.